there, Peppermint Pals. So I just got done with work and it's 11:15 at night and I'm very tired, but I got home and my Art Snacks box had arrived, so I wanted to film opening that because I didn't want to wait. Let's open. Oh, it's a little Christmas sweater sticker. That's precious. This peppermint, I don't know if it's the same kind of peppermint that they had last year, but I didn't like it very much. The one that they had last year. But it's a peppermint because it's Christmas time. So we've got Faber-Castell Pitt pens in black, and they are four different nibs. So there's, it looks like 2 different kinds of brush. SC, which looks like it's kind of angled, and then like a 1.5 bullet nib. Let's see if it says on the back. This is all in different languages. It'll probably say on the menu, so I can look it up there. And then we've got, ooh, this thick. Something sounds liquidy and rolling back. Ooh, I wonder if, I have an idea of what it might be. Oh my gosh. It's a huge Crink paint marker. Looks like it's blue. And this is, yeah, that's the thing I'm hearing. It's got, I hear the paint and I hear the little ball in it. So, and I've got, it looks like a colored pencil. No, it's just a regular pencil. I think that's just a regular pencil. Yep. And it doesn't say what grade it is. But there's that. And then a Tombow, looks like brush marker. And it's yellow. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's look at these Faber-Castell pens. Okay, brush, soft brush. Okay. So, the soft brushes are the ones I have trouble with. Soft calligraphy. Oh, yeah. That's what the C stands for. That's the angled one. And a 1.5 bullet. Interesting selection this month. Not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. But I'll do some testing and I'll try and figure it out. So it took me a while to figure out what exactly I wanted to do, but eventually I decided I'm going to try out a shapes challenge. So I blocked in some shapes with the big paint marker, and I would later turn them into different things. Now, originally my plan had been to just take each shape and make it something different and not really have them related to each other. But as I kept looking at it, I kept seeing more and more shapes of like sea creatures. So I decided to put them all together in a theme and kind of a scene of different sea creatures. And as you can tell here, I didn't go completely with the shape I already had. I added more to it with the paint marker afterwards. But the initial shapes kind of inspired me to make this sea creature scene. And you can kind of tell that the shapes aren't quite exactly like the animals, keeping in that I just sort of, with that theme of me just sort of blocking it in and accidentally making these shapes to begin with. So the Crink paint marker was probably my favorite item from the box. It was really good, bright, pigmented paint, and it was really nice because it dried very fast, which in some ways is good. In other ways, you couldn't really work with it very much, like I tried in future parts of this picture to work with it and to make it more liquidy, but it wasn't meant for that. But that's okay, because most of the parts of the picture it worked really well for, because it dried fast, so I wouldn't mess up the pieces that I had just done by working on the next one. And the pencils and pens went over it really nicely, so I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. At this point, I'm sketching the outlines and the details of each animal and kind of what I want to do with them, giving me an idea of where to go with the pens later. I kind of did want the pencil to show up a little bit more for that layering effect. It didn't at the end. The pens just kind of went over it and hit it, but that's okay because I still used the pencil to do the sketches, and it was good because then I didn't go straight in with the pen and I could have messed up. I didn't mess up a whole lot with the pencil sketches anyway, but it was, nice just to have that safety net. Pencil was really nice. It had a good quality lead that, went out onto the paper really nicely, but not too strong. It was a little hard. I know I said the pens and the pencils went on the paint pretty well. The pencil had a little bit harder time, but that's just normal of pencils and paint, in my opinion. It honestly, for a pencil, it showed up really nicely, and I think that might have been honestly more the pencil than the paint, even though I already complimented the paint, but they were both pretty good. Back to the pencil, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice. I have so many pencils because they give you a pencil like almost every other month in Art Snacks, but whatever. It's a nice pencil, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I admit not all these sea creatures look exactly like they're supposed to. Some of them are just kind of made up fishes to go along with things, like that fish right above the octopus. Actually, both of them above the octopus. I don't know what they're supposed to be. One is even cut off by the paper. And that tubey thing you see above the shark was something I found. It's actually a deep sea creature. I wish I kind of just added more stuff to it and made it a different creature, because all these creatures are pretty much found near the surface of the water, but yeah, there's just a random really deep sea creature hanging out up there, so he probably implodes or something. I don't know. Yeah, but otherwise I think the turtle came out really nice. I think the stingray and the shark and the octopus all came out really nice. Now, of course, I'm going in and having fun with the pen details, and so my feelings on these pens are kind of mixed, and that's because the pens in the pack were kind of mixed. You had a 1.5 nib, a soft calligraphy, a brush, and a soft brush. And I liked the stiffer brush and the 1.5 the best because that's just kind of what I use. It helps me control better. If I want really good control, I'll go with a bullet nib. And if I want to have a little creativity but still be mostly in control, I'll go with a stiff brush. I don't like the softer brushes or like the soft calligraphy or, things like that, because they don't give me as much control and it's easier to mess up. And with this picture, it seemed to work out okay. I think maybe because of that whole underwater thing and because a lot of wiggly bits like with the jellyfish, and I also used the calligraphy brush for the rock edges there. But in my normal day-to-day, I would not use the softer nibbed pens. That being said, the pack overall, I would probably give a 4 out of 5 because even though I could see myself using only half the pens on a regular basis, it worked really well for this picture. So it's a bit more than a 3.5, so yeah, a 4 out of 5. So finally, I add extra details to the background and to the animals with the yellow pen. Now, I did like it. It drew pretty well. I really like the way it drew those plants at the bottom there. I will say that it picked up the pen, and that's just kind of the black pens themselves also not necessarily go with that pen. And it did color really nicely on top of the blue paint, which was really good. It's not something I could see myself using a whole lot, but for what it was really nice. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. Hello there, Peppermint Pals! Before we get to the end of this video, I just want to let you all know that I have a Redbubble shop with my original design on things like stationery, apparel, home decor, as well as many other things. If you're interested, it's a great place to pick out gifts or to find something neat for yourself. If there's any of my designs that you think would be a great addition to my Redbubble shop but you don't see it up there, let me know! Thank you, I hope you'll all check it out, and now on to the rest of the video. So at this point, the piece was looking almost done, but I tried to find ways to make it a little bit more complete and to distinguish the animals a little differently. So I added more of the yellow and more of the black shades, and that was okay. Then I tried to go in right here, and I made a big puddle of the paint and tried to go in with my water brush and paint it on like a background, and I kind of regret it. It didn't flow very well, which on the one hand does make it look more like water, but on the other hand, it kind of takes away from the animals, though it does look more natural than them just on a white background. Still, it didn't work very well because, as I said, the paint dries very fast, so even putting it on that slippery surface and adding water to it just made it sticky, and that's why there are some parts where it gets really sticky, especially where I first put it on. By that stingray, I had to turn it into another animal, which wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I would have rather just kept the picture as is instead of adding a little snail there. All in all, I do enjoy this piece. It's not my favorite piece that I've done, even with Art Snacks, but it's better than last month's, in my opinion. And I had a lot of fun making it. I had fun kind of putting down the blobby shapes and then sort of seeing what they looked like and adding to them and making these really cute little sea creatures. You know, I'm trying to practice getting better at animals, and I think this really helped. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna try this peppermint, hoping it's better than I remember it. So let me open it. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this. There's like a little piece broken off.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know, last time it had kind of a medicinal-ish flavor, and it kind of has that again this time, but not as strong. Maybe because last time I just put the whole thing in my mouth at once. Yeah. But it's okay.